Alright, good afternoon. I'm redoing the video. I shot one earlier and I didn't like it. Plus, you had a lot of background noise and people coming in from other places trying to talk to me and interrupt. So, we started off with the first major drone network. I have some Eldars. I got based finally. Now I just need to do basing work. Today, we broke open a Fire Warrior box and two of the Getting Started sets. GW is sneaky. I'm kind of pissed, but then again, it's a business and I understand how they do things. They only give you 10 torsos. I thought they were going to be nice and give you a couple extra to do a squad of 12. No! And I read all the reports from everybody else and I kind of agree with you. GW is just kind of shady. I love them, but they're shady. Shady. So, we have approximately a buttload of models being worked on all at the same time. I rated my personal bits bin at home, got some legs and bases, put them together. So this is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 legs and feet based. Then I need to do 15 torsos this weekend and get them primed black, then olive drab for Midori Squadron. And that'll be 15 of my first 30 pulse blasters. So over here, that's 3, 6, 8 more of the Pulse Blaster Crisis suits I messed up doing torsos. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. 5. I got Pathfinders ready to go. So I should have about 10 Pathfinders up and going. I noticed that they sculpted the Pathfinder's legs different, which I'm very happy about. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. 9 of those. Then I have 9 regular Fire Warrior bodies, but those can be my bastards with the Pulse Rifle bodies anyway. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Pathfinders. 9 of those, and then 9 of those. And then the first Crisis suit. I didn't like the way it was painted originally, so we primed over nicely and got it set up. This one, I'm just going to put my stock plasma missile pod set up on this. Be done with it. And then we got 5 more marker drones, which I will have painted for next week. This weekend's game coming up is versus a new group of guys from San Marcos, the Warhammer players of San Marcos. You can find them on Facebook. They're a really good group of guys. And yes, this is my loot bag. The loot bag is filled with goodies. All bunch of sprue and drones and stuff. And my marker drones are mixed in with my shield drones. So I need to grab the stencil that I'm using and the color that I'm using and add them to the bag so I can finish work at home over the weekend. Drones are going home with me, and drones are a major part of the equation for this coming 2,000 point 4-way battle. I'm being paired up with a Tau player I've never met before, and kind of anxious about that because I don't like playing with people I don't know. And I don't like directing battles. And it's a preference thing. For Carlton, yes, got you the drop pod. It's going to be green next week. I don't like directing battles against, for, or about myself. I prefer that if I've played with someone a couple of times, then it should be painless, easy by the numbers to play a game. Now, disclaimer, I don't like winning every game. Matter of fact, it's like teaching. If I show you 5 different ways how to do the work, and then you turn around and flip over and play dead, and you expect me to rub your belly and you get an A, no. Most of my kids get B's. The only ones that get A's in my class are the ones that work for it, and that's how I feel about my games. So going in the other loot bag, drones and paint and airbrush. Because I want to use, this weekend is going to be awesome because in bin number 1, I'm using the Razor Shark formation from Farsight in combination with a drone network. added into a retaliation cadre. So that's the preview for this weekend. Of course, I'm gonna fill in my Forge World shenanigans of Tetris to control my deep strike landings. I don't know what I'm fighting. I know I'm fighting guard. I don't know what kind of guard I'm fighting, so I'm expecting Leman the Rust is out the wazoo. So one of the squads in Retaliation Cadre will all be double fusion. I'm going to run a cheap squad of triple flamers with prom pipes out of just, redundancy. I guess how I roll. And I'll show you the rest of the paintwork, wrap up this video, then I'm going to my house. My allergies are bad. If you live in South Texas and you don't like allergies, I don't recommend ever in your life moving here. So, the second Remora Squadron, to make them different, they added dragon scale. So, I would have the trees, or should I say the leaves, then I have the snakes. That way I have two completely different squads of flyers that will be easily identifiable on the tabletop, so I can keep track of where the squads go. I knocked that out myself today. The other thing that happened today is that all of the Sun Sharks, I added Creatix Metallic Blue for the Pulse Bomb effect, and I think it came out pretty nifty. I'm not finished with it because I want to do the, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. I want to do the symbol markings after I go through my next 3 rounds of blue and a purple. So what's going to happen is next week, I'm going to start off, nope, I'm not using Ultramarine Blue. That's a fib. I'm going to use Magic Blue and Air Blue mixed in with Transparent, and then I'm going to go over the symbols with this last person over here called Blue Gray. So I'm literally going to take a small brush and go over the top of the symbols with the blue gray, but I'm going to play with the effects here and do lightning and fire as in the bombs gearing up to explode, along with the other blue that's already in the bag. The pride and joy of the week is a combination project between me and the students. 2 of my female students who've been chomping at the bits to airbrush, I said, okay, let me get my squad set up. And I do the lens work. So I primed in black, went over with the olive drab Vallejo primer, then I turned around in 2 different squads. Then I turned around and I added the marker lights. They did the different colors. They used aged white to go over the helmets, over the colors, and I just had them do washes and everything. I didn't want a super clean, super spiffy squad. Pathfinder is supposed to be hidden. And the problem with playing 40K is that if something's super painted, you can't ignore it. If it looks bland, there's a 50-50 shot your opponent won't catch it. So I have 9 of the AKA, it's a sorority, you can look it up online, helmets with the top the top pink. Then I have the Zeta Phi Betas / SG Rose with the blue top eye and the yellow and brown bottom eye. Then I came up today with the pale blue gray and did the guns. I am out, and I'm kind of mad at myself for being out, but I'm out of my Vallejo black wash, and my local store doesn't have it in, and I've ordered it twice, and it's not coming from a distributor, so I might have to resort to eBay next week so I can darken out the guns after I do the blue dots on all of the gun areas for Pathfinders. I found out at home that I have 2 brand new broadsides in a box that haven't been opened, the new model. Another Riptide, which means I have 3 Riptides at home that are not built or in use. And there's the other broadside. So I'm looking at just like cutting the fat after I get the squadron built. So the overwhelming problem that I have is, do I start rebuilding my Farside Enclave? For example, I already have my 8 character who's also 06 in the lineup for the Command Riptide team. It's a running joke from college, but I already have that set up. And the next complaint is, do I build a Riptide wing for Farsight? I got rid of Iron Man because I didn't like the way it was coming out, and then I was having misgivings about having Iron Man in Farsight since he's such a yuppie, government-friendly businessman. After watching the movies and rereading the comics, it's like, I don't even really want to deal with Iron Man. So I have 3 Riptide bodies at home, and I could easily set up a Riptide wing for Farsight and knock it out. You just have 06 as my Obelai character for Farsight Enclave. That's the other issue. In the trade that I did yesterday, I got rid of my War Machine Menoth army and said goodbye. And I turned around and picked up 2 Sky Rays and 4 Crisis Suits that are going to match my Farsight perfectly. And it comes to the question of, do I really, really, really want to continue putting money in the Farsight? And then I figured out that the plan shall be, officially, I will keep the Crisis that I have. I'm going to try to get 3 more of the Getting Started boxes, which are a really good deal. If you're a Tau player or any army, primary army player. They have Chaos, they have Space Marines, they have everything. I recommend picking them up and trying them out. So I put all the rewards together really quick so you guys could see the difference in squads. This is the damage I was talking about from the heat and the paint that I use. Most of it comes off because it's chalked up some of the glue, but then you still see the paint effect. So I'm going to come back in and touch those guys up next week. I touched up the first 5, and the only thing I have to do, and this is the Vallejo aluminum with the Vallejo blackwash effect. And I'll put it a little closer so you can see it. Comes out well. The black seeps in the crevices, giving you the details. Also, great news. I shot a couple pictures of Midori Squadron over to Warhammer 40,000 Apocalypse page on Facebook, and I got featured this week. So I'm kind of enjoying the nerd moment and laughing and smiling about it. And I just think, wow, so now I just have to get off my butt and put the other 30,000 points on the table and take pictures, which I might do tonight, tomorrow, maybe Sunday, or this summer. Probably this summer. My wife's going to be working her new job, so I'll have the days to myself when I'm not at my part-time job if I can get it. I applied and haven't heard anything back. So with that, there's a lot of great things today, a lot of positives. My really good buddy from New Orleans, Carlton, who gets a shout out on the video, he's going to be getting the Salamanders. I don't want to use the Salamanders because I noticed that a lot of my kids are one-dimensional, one-track minded, and GW has no shame about selling you the Marines as the only good army in a game. And a lot of the kids in their movies this semester are going to be doing Space Marines as the hero and everyone else is the bad guy. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. Goodbye, Salamanders, goodbye. I love the paintwork that came out with them. But at the same time, I'm not going to propagate the Marine machine in my classroom. Sorry, just not my style. Now, for those of you that are wondering what the Salamander Land Raider came out as I finished it, this is how this puppy came out. I really enjoyed the effects. I want to give another shout out to Fallout Hobbies for their stencil, the reptile stencil. It blended well enough for me to hide everything in layer. And then I used Air 6 stencils for the flames. I'm not finished with it, but I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to let the new owner pick it up from me in June. I'm giving him about 3,000 points, 4,000 points. For whatever he gives me, we'll call even. So, if you have any questions, comments, click, subscribe, link. I'm getting my music. Oh, the other good thing is that the music student who's hanging out in my classroom, she's going to do my YouTube music for me for my channels. So with that, I will now have official intros I'll load them up, let you guys give me your opinion, and we'll go on from there. So, again, from Kikai no Naka no Akuma, Demon in the Machine, have a beautiful and safe weekend. Enjoy everything that you're doing. I'm having a great day. My flyers are coming along great. I got a couple of engines to clean up and dirty up. I got a couple of spots that I hit today. Like I touched up this one. If you go back to the videos and see it, I added the white and the gray to it to give it the finished reptile effect. And I'm done. Have an awesome weekend. Enjoy your game.